So Father Leopold stayed as my spiritual director from then on, and he told me to come to those prayer meetings, if you want to call them that, with Bread of Life. And then I moved into one of their households on campus, and it was a great group of. I'm still in contact with many of them, and we're a pretty tight group yet. And my one, that's how I met Father Murray.
Hmm.
I always knew who St. Francis was, just from church. I mean, I heard his name, but it wasn't like I really knew that much about him. And in our households, we lived male and female because we were all just college kids. And some of us were in houses with 5 or 6 bedrooms, and we all shared kitchens. And it was very much the '70s kind of feel, Woodstock and all that stuff. Uh, but one of the guys in our house, he just recently died of cancer. Um, he was in the room next to my room. Like I said, I was usually restless at night, or I'd play the guitar, and he's trying to do his master's work in botany, and I was keeping him awake. And so he came into the doorway of my room, and he had a book in his hand called Francis, The Journey and the Dream, right? Uh, and he was way ahead of me on the spiritual, trail. He was very deep into different saints and stuff. And he said, "You're driving me crazy. You're always singing in the middle of the night, and I can't do my work, or you're up walking around." He said, "You need to talk to somebody." And he said, "So here, talk to this guy." And on the back of Father Murray's first edition of that book, uh, he's holding a pipe, and he's clean shaven, and he had like black glasses, and he still had hair at that moment. Sorry, Murray, but and John said, "Here, talk to him. He has a nice face. Talk to him." And so I did. And I read The Journey and the Dream, and that was it. That's where I first got into St. Francis. And then, probably within just a few weeks of all of that, I fell in gymnastics at Penn State, and I broke my neck and back, uh, which didn't help matters. But I knew when that happened too. I told the doctors, because I was spent 10 years in a pain control center during that whole journey, but um, I couldn't graduate from Penn State in my major. I lost my graduate uh, scholarship to go to grad school because I couldn't write. I was partially paralyzed. I don't want to over dramatize that. It was neuralgia in my hand, in my right arm, right upper quadrant. Wasn't probably like someone would think who's in a wheelchair and have some kind of severe paralysis. Mine was mainly pain oriented, and it was nerve oriented too, but it was more weakness than. But anyway, I just decided the only person that would possibly understand or could explain all this to me was St. Francis. I had to go talk to him. And I just told Father Leopold that I was going to Assisi. And he just said, "Well, if you think that that's what you have to do," he said, "then go." And so that's what I did.